true about this fandom is that most things are fucking false. Yeah, so there's people deliberately lying to you for an effect, like to manipulate you, or even just to, you know, put off a decent perception of themselves, or just things that people get wrong about this fandom. There's a hell of a lot of shit that's just flat out false. And I thought, fuck it, I can stretch that out into a video. Let's just go through 10 fucking furry fandom falsehoods. Let's do that. Number 1, it's all about sex. So on a lot of the mainstream media and, you know, all those little clickbait fuckers on Facebook might like to brand us as one. We're not actually a fetish, or at least not exclusively a fetish for everybody, not deliberately. We probably fall under the category of hobby. I know fandom seems to work well enough, so we'll probably go with that. Our community is one that contains and encompasses a lot of fetishes, and I mean a lot. Jesus Christ, you just need to have a look around to see exactly what ones those are. But it doesn't mean that it is a fetish. It's the same as anything. I mean, you get loads of people that like bronies and those people that are sexually interested in all the ponies and shit. Doesn't mean that the two are exactly the same, and it being one means that you're the other as well. And while a lot of people do find it quite sexual, we are not inherently sexual. In fact, there's a large majority that actually don't like any of the sexual parts, and it's the rest of the stuff that they like, you know, like myself. I mean, I'm one of those, not that they all like me instead, although maybe they do. Number 2, it's all about positivity. And that's not to say that we don't do good. We do spread a lot of positivity, and we do a lot of charity work. We raise a lot of money for very good causes within our fandom. But quite frankly, there is far too much negativity for us to ignore and to really live underneath. It's all about positivity. Now, we try to make it as positive as possible, but we don't really do that well at it. And unfortunately, the same as with any group of people, there's going to be some in that group that are deliberately trying to tear things down. I mean, look at people like Foxler getting kicked out of nearly every convention, for fuck's sake. Some people just seem to enjoy watching the world burn. Number 3, you don't need a fursuit. Of course, it's not a prerequisite to being a furry, and having one doesn't make you more of a furry. You can obviously be a furry without having a fursuit. That is 100% true. But let's be honest, people respect suitors a hell of a lot more. It seems to get you some sort of credibility in this place. It seems to let people think that you're better than everybody else. And unfortunately, that is the way that little fandom works. Could be that's down to brand recognition, and that if you're making like a YouTube channel or Twitter page or something, it's much easier to recognize a fursuit, much easier to sort of share their content. People are going to like it a little bit more, but yeah, still, it is like, if you have that, it's like a ×10 modifier to everything you can do and make. Number 4, we are welcoming and accepting. See, when you first come into the fandom, some of us are actually very welcoming and accepting at first. And then usually something happens, or they find something out about you, or you don't fit in with what they want, and then they turn on you, inevitably. It's just being welcoming and accepting. We are about a lot of things, but some things will just never be accepted. And that's not just by us, that's by, you know, the whole world. They shouldn't be accepted. I've said it before. Sometimes intolerance can be a good thing. But as a whole, as a fandom, as a group of people, we all love to judge. We all love to weigh someone else up against ourselves and go, ha, I'm better than that. I mean, look at me. I've made a fucking following based off of that attitude. And it works. People love that shit. Number 5, it's one big happy family. This is just plain bullshit. There's so many groups and subgroups into the fandom that you can never claim it's one unified thing. It never was. I don't even know where the fucking image of this came from. This place is very clique-based. Everyone's got their own little groups. They don't really want anybody else coming into that group, and then, you know, their group's better than that group, and you don't talk to them over there because they're all bitches. You don't talk to them over there because they like to fuck horses. Shit like that. Basically, it's a bit like, well, secondary school or high school. It kind of continues on through the fandom. And if there's one thing that's fucking true, it's that furries just love, fucking adore hating each other. Like, it is the sweet lifeblood of this fandom. Number 6, it's not about popularity. I mean, it basically is, let's be honest. Twitter and Instagram are ruled by Poppyfurs, and you can never tell me otherwise. Of course, they're also ruled by Poppyfur fursuit makers, which is a business, so yeah, okay, that's a little bit better. They seem to play the game better anyway. But yeah, popularity is the name of the game, and people really do give a shit about numbers, so look forward to seeing all of that. Quality content doesn't really seem to matter in this fandom. I've seen a million passion projects and people that have been ignored in favour of the latest Poppyfur's fucking stream because they met up with another Poppyfur. That's just the way this is going to work. Nothing is going to change that, so we better just get used to it. Much as I'm trying to change it, it's not gonna work. Number 7, it lasts forever. People do grow out of the fandom. If I even look back in my Vine days, a lot of the people I saw on Vine, I don't see anymore. They're not around. Maybe they just found a little group of friends and they enjoy the fandom in their own way. Maybe they just found that it's not for them. This is not something that lasts forever for everyone. Quite frankly, some people are pushed out. Some people shouldn't be in this fandom and are just, fuck off, get out of our little fun time. Unfortunately, some people are the victim of assholes that are pushed out. And, that probably happens more often than we think. And on the very rough part, some people should never have been in this fandom in the first place, and exactly what kind of person they are surfaces, and we can't tolerate that anymore. We've all seen a few people who've been arrested because of various things. But on the nicer side of this reason, sometimes people need something from the fandom and they don't need it anymore. They can still enjoy it, but they're not going to throw themselves as fully into it because they just don't need to. Number 8, it will solve all of your problems. Bullshit. If this fandom was a medication, it would be a fucking sugar pill. A placebo. All this fandom lets you do is hide from your responsibilities. It lets you hide from the issues that are bothering you. If you feel alone, you'll be able to mask that by just being around loads of like-minded people, thinking that you fit in. But do they matter? I mean, are all these people really that close to you that they help you work through this issue? Nah, that's rare. That's rare that actually happens. You are still going to have to deal with that and get the help that you need. Not only will the problems persist, but they will likely get worse. And I mean, yeah, if you are struggling for a social life and then you start meeting up with people, that's obviously going to help solve a bit of that problem. But struggling for a social life is a symptom of a deeper problem, and you can't just expect joining this fucking group to be the magical cure-all for all of your situations. Because if that's your attitude, they're likely going to get a lot worse because you're ignoring them. Number 9, it's all-consuming. Believe it or not, this might be hard for a lot of people in the fandom to believe, but there is actually life outside of the fandom. See, a lot of people like to keep things separate, like their work life is separate from their furry life. That's probably the best way to operate, but there's still a lot going on in their work life and their personal life and, the friends they have outside of the fandom. It's not like you join the fandom and that's it. That's all you have anymore. Quite frankly, it isn't everything in life, and it can be quite a bit, it can mean quite a lot, it has its significance, but it's not 100%, If you've got an empty glass, you can't expect to fill it 100% with furry fandom. You're going to need to, have work in there, and family, and actual life, and things that matter. And finally, number 10, we're all normal underneath. Of course we fucking aren't, that's why we're in the fandom. The difference is we celebrate our weirdness, we revel in it, we enjoy it, and it means a lot to us. That's how we came into all of this at the end of the day. It's our weirdness that brings us together. We all like something that's weird, we all accept each other for it, and we can be accepted for it as well. That is the glue that holds it together. There's no point being normal, we're better than normal. So you have it, there's my top 10 furry fandom falsehoods, things that are just flat out wrong about this place. I don't say it to really shit on the place, because, well, first of all, some people like that, and second of all, it's too fucking easy. It's like kicking a kid, it's easy, but you probably shouldn't fucking do it. That's what loads of people join this fandom thinking it's one thing, and then they spend their entire time in the fandom learning it fucking isn't. So it's probably best that people know exactly what they're facing when they come into it, and plus, we kind of need to stay a bit more grounded about what this community of ours really fucking is. And I'm just doing my service. This is my community service for everybody. I'm just that good of a dog. I'm just helping everybody by spreading my cynicism and making sure everybody has open eyes. So I'm sorry for all of you who have to now see the shit that is this place. Ah well, my problem is now your problem. Fuck it, subscribe to Patreon, you might feel better.